All right, we have a question from one of my bots that messages me. This bot wants to know. He wants to invest. He has 5,000 to start with. What does I recommend? 5 stocks each, 1,000 for long-term investment for my son. Okay, well, first of all, I don't know what else you're in. So I'm going to say long-term, 10 years, Amazon, Google, Nvidia. You could choose either Nvidia or AMD, whatever you if you looked into it a little bit, you would. None of this is investment advice. These would be what I would do, what I would tell someone, or what I would do if I had an extra 5,000. Maybe. I mean, well, you want to wait. See, here's the other thing. Okay, hold on. I might ask you, what's your hurry? Because here we have Amazon earnings July 31st. Chadman. He's getting to the all-time highs, and Chadman is known. It's known. I feel as though these earnings could drop them because the commerce is not going to do well. And people do not realize all the stuff Jadman's doing. I just came across something how the electric charging stations, the infrastructure, you have to think of him like a tech infrastructure. Same with Google. That's why I could also say Google. Dude, and Google owning the everything. These drones Google has, this is going to be Google, the drones, the cloud. Jadman and Google, they're both going to do the robo taxis. Dude, these electric autonomous taxis are going to be huge. Speaking of all that, you could also say Uber. I do not think you go wrong going into Uber. But see, you could wait because depending on these earnings Chadman has, and well, Google's just coming off their earnings, and their earnings were good. So, but they still have a little dip there. So Google, as you notice, they're on all-time high. They could definitely fall. Same with Chadman. So if you have sitting on $5,000, you don't have to rush into it. You could keep an eye on my account because I will definitely tell you guys if Google or Amazon dropped horribly because I'm in them, and I always do like to look for opportunity to get more. Now we could have a little fun. This has a 0.65% dividend, or is it 1.65? I don't know, but this is all your space stocks, your Rocket Lab, your ASTS, your Black Sky, BKSY, your RDW, some defense stocks as well in there. But this long term, you could say you might not have to worry about it because if Rocket Lab had an incident, God forbid, I don't think that would happen. If ASTS had an incident, because space stocks are very all the rage right now, trending, getting a lot of government money. So this protects you. It would be a collection of space stocks. And then I might say a uranium ETF. Now, the Sprout one, URNM, that's a lot of one miner, or a lot of CCJ, which still, it doesn't matter. But I like URNJ. That one is a smaller one with a dividend, 4 point something% dividend. URA. And wait, there was another one, VLR, NLR. That one has a little smaller dividend too. But a nuclear ETF or uranium ETF could be interesting within the coming 10 years for sure. Well, this actually, they're going to have Constellation Energy Corp, which is a Microsoft, this is for NLR, a Microsoft connected, but they are clearly on a definite all-time high. All these new, but if you're long term and you're just going to sit and wait, it's very likely these continue. For sure these are going to grow. The nuclear industry is going to be huge. None of this is investment advice. You can also just look up the news. Their earnings August 1st. This could be interesting because this is a Mark Carney connected. This is a convoluted they called it, one Finance Times called it a labyrinth of subsidiaries and companies, but sometimes that works out well. And BEP, BEPC, BAM, BIP, BIPC, they're all Brookfield, and they all have decent, I would say, dividends. Their dividends vary. I think this one's like a 5 point something. And last but not least, you could have Palantir on August 4th. Now, Palantir, God, historically, people, every earnings, Palantir pops. And it could take them to another level. It could take them to another $10 range. That is quite possible. They just got a $170 buy rating from a big institution. People are blowing that up on X. So I don't think you ever go wrong throwing money on Palantir. They are literally the United States government at this point. So if you are doing it for your son, it's okay to invest in Palantir.